Happy Friday, what's up? I hope you're well. Hope you enjoyed the sunny weather that I think a lot of us were lucky to get. Enjoying that fresh air and whatever vitamin D you could possibly get. But yeah, it's good to go back to the roots, so have a look at this, right? I think everyone should have a card that they can just show to people that has that written on it. So simple, so true. And we all have opportunities to sort of give people this info, whether it be at the bus stop, whether it be in the supermarket, whether it be a policeman who's kettling you. Anyway, so talking about kettling. So from yesterday at Trafalgar Square, again we see this guy again with that weird ass mask, looking like Bane, and someone knows who he is. I mean, does he film for the Daily Mail? But yeah, very strange because I've never seen anyone wear that kind of thing before. But yet he is, and he's on show a lot. So I don't know if you get paid a lot to wear that or. And here is what could you ask for? I mean, it's 1 month till Christmas. You know what that means, don't you? Yeah, that means grey bleeder. Yeah, having a hug with Pavlov. That's what Christmas is all about. So not only have you got that, you've also got Father Christmas right there for you, thanks to Rupley. You know, Rupley, who decided to zoom into their faces, almost sort of strangely. There was no need for it. Out of everyone, they zoomed into their faces, almost like they were saying, "Oh yeah, John Overkill's YouTube is on. Let's wind him up a bit." Anyway, so that was that, and then you had all this fun and games, and supposedly what we got here is a picture of a guy bleeding on the floor. Loads of police around him. They don't seem too concerned. But, they did give him that amazing first aid. I mean, I don't even know what that is around his head. It looks like a sandwich bag or something. I don't know anything about bandages and, first aid. So someone knows if that's the right thing to be putting around someone's head when that has happened to them, supposedly, yeah? You know better than me. I don't claim to know everything. If I don't know something, I won't say it. Simple as that. I don't want to make a fool of myself. I want to only say something if I know it to be pretty much true, Anyway, what else have we got? Oh yeah. So yeah, that was the original thing where you got Rupley zooming in, and this is why I went a bit crazy yesterday. Just zooming into these two people's faces. But what's interesting is also the guy behind him. The guy behind him with the bald head, look at his eyes. I mean, he looks like he's very into the moment. I think some people have left comments about him. So I'll have to reread them to make sure it's about this guy they're talking about. But from what I remember, someone said he would look like he was acting like a bit of an attention seeker, deliberately getting in the way of people's cameras or something. I'll look into it. And this was the other day. Police chief warns lockdown rule breakers will be fined. But what I found interesting about this is how it says police will hand out fines to people who refuse to follow encouragement. Encouragement. They will hand out fines to people who refuse to follow encouragement to abide by new national lockdown rules, a top officer said. So, You're going to get fined, and if you refuse to follow the encouragement of the police, supposedly, right? The encouragement. Yeah, okay. Kind of sad, this, right? If it's true. Millions of mink to be culled after passing CV mutation to humans. Millions of mink set to be culled. Yeah. After a mutation was discovered at more than 200 mink farms. So pretty sad if that's true, but it wouldn't surprise me if it isn't. It's just another sort of panicky fear story to make you think that you're going to start getting it from all kinds of animals as well. But yeah, that's not nice, is it? That's not nice. And then here we go. Actually, no. We'll come to that. We'll come to that positive stuff in a bit, right? So the following is screenshots from a game intro, right? A video game intro. And it was published 2016. So let's say it was probably written about 2015, yeah? So what they do is they say that there was... Let me just get the screen quick. There you go. So what they say in this game is that there was a Black Friday and so much cash was passed around, record sales, etc., etc., that it actually led to the flu coming out earlier. But then they start to, do stuff like this. Say that it's everywhere, just like we used to see on the map. They used to say, now there's outbreaks there was in China, now in Australia and whatever. They would just show you on the map how it was spreading, right? And then they say here that so many deaths that they had to convert Central Park into a mass burial ground. That's pretty grim. Hopefully that it doesn't get that far, but we don't know anything anymore, right? With how crazy life is, we don't know anything. And then it says here, an entire American city locked down. Well, yep, we're in that now, aren't we? Shelter in place, avoid all human contact. I mean, we're not far off that as well. They might as well just say that now, to be quite honest with you, Army rolls into Manhattan as Island begins total lockdown. So again, tying lockdowns with armies and, So like I said, this is 2015, 2016. So 4 years before where we are. It's almost like they're sort of putting it into the psyche of people so that they're prepared for this and they just don't question it. Oh, yeah, it's a lockdown because there's a virus, blah, blah, blah. Do what you're told. I don't know. I'm sure that's the intention, right? Epidemic feared, concerns heightened as hospital emergency rooms reach breaking point. Now, they say this all the time, don't they? Oh, the health system's not going to be able to cope. It's going to be flooded, blah, blah, blah. Well, we'll come to that in the actual real life story a bit later on to see how accurate that is, okay? And then you get this image here, massive sign saying, have you had your flu jab yet? And you could imagine that now saying, have you had your CV jab yet? And then you've got the reporter there wearing the face covering. Flu outbreak worsens. New Yorkers fear winter misery. So it's kind of like where we are now. Winter misery. Dark winter, cold winter, long winter, yeah? And then in the background, you've got half price smartphone. And we know that smartphones and all these companies, tech companies, have done really well during the pandemic because loads of people got time to be on their phones, so therefore they want a better phone and one with better memory, one with more whatever, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's very interesting, isn't it? That one screenshot tells you loads. And like I said, you could, it's about 4 years ago, this, right? 4 years ago. And going back to, them saying that it came from cash, this is what gives them the perfect reason to stop cash and have a cashless society. I'd imagine what it's going to be is some kind of cryptocurrency that you only allowed to have if you've had your VACCINE, yeah, your health passport, your immunity certificate, You won't be able to access your cryptocurrency or get any or get paid in cryptocurrency or use it to buy food unless you've had that. That's what I'm possibly thinking is going to happen. I hope not. If it does, we have to find our own communities and barter and grow our own food. That's the answer to that. All right. Now, I don't want to have to speak about this one, but let's just get it over and done with, right? So this is Songbird, which most of you have seen now. If you haven't, let's just go through it really quickly. All right. So you've got here Biohazard, no entry, desolate city. Yeah. Then you've got this ridiculous thing. Now, I spoke to G Truth about this. I said, "How long do you think we are off this?" And he said, "Well, look, we see it on Sky News, we see it on the news, death tolls. So you can imagine the next step would just be to have that there, so everyone knows what it is. Don't even have to look at your phone or whatever. You just know, oh, look, yeah, another tenor just died. Oh, dear, we better stay inside. Yeah? So, to scare people. And then craziness, right? We knew about this a while ago now, that they were going to mention CV23. So we're still not even over CV19, supposedly, allegedly, but now they're already talking about a CV23. And the reason they do that is to panic people, think that they have to get used to there being a virus, a pandemic every year. And Bill Gates comes along with his VACCINE, gives it to you and your family and makes loads of money. Win, 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 right? So yeah, I haven't even got through CV19 and now they're talking about CV23. I think that is enough to make you sick, but there's worse to come, right? So then you got this guy here, he's come out and then there's a military checkpoint and they tell him to get down, and he goes, I'm immune. So again, are we that far off this where there's army in the street, and if you go out and you haven't had your VACCINE, you haven't got your immunity passport, are they then going to quarantine you? We've seen stuff like this in New Zealand supposedly where they refuse to get tests and then they're put into a quarantine camp. I don't know if it's true. I hope it bloody isn't, but that's what we've been led to believe. So anyone from New Zealand who's watching and listening, do let us know. I hope not, because it's horrific, right? And then you got this image here of guy knocking, and you got the hazmat suited guys with guns and a bloody thing to barge the door down, right? So that's pretty horrific and terrifying, isn't it? And then you got this woman here with her phone scanning her mum, and basically it turns out that her mum's got I can't even say anomaly, right? And then obviously what she does is probably say, oh yeah, my mum's ill. And then the next thing you see is this. So here you have an image with them wearing sodding hazmat suits, yeah? And then this woman supposedly got something, but yeah, her daughter is fine just to wear a bandana, because hazmat suit and bandana are exactly the same. So it's a deadly virus, but a good old bandana is going to sort that out. Come on. Do you think we're bloody stupid, man? And then this is the worst of the lot. They show like this creepy woman wearing a face covering, and then she takes it off to then kiss the guy so that they can get like infected or some crap. But it's just vile, disgusting business, in my opinion, right? So that Songbird trailer. So yeah, we should all boycott that and try and tell people not to go and watch it, in my opinion. Right, so here's another thing, right? Keir Starmer. So I don't know if you remember, but someone called Ian Tomlinson died in the G20 protests, and this guy here made sure that no charges were brought in relation to the death of that guy. Okay, so that's what Keir Starmer is good at. He's good at getting bodies, as in official bodies like the police or whatever, out of trouble or this or that, yeah. And now he's done his good job. He's become a knight, and he'll probably be the next prime minister. So yeah, brilliant. That's what happens if you make sure that the police don't get in trouble for the death of an innocent man. You get promoted. Yeah, win-win. Right, what else have we got? So yeah, so again, they do these stupid arrests where they just carry them like that. It's all for show. They could just be standing up and walking, Yeah, but no, they have to be lifted like that, and I bet there's a bit of a strain on the old arms that doing that, isn't it? And then you got old Piers Corbyn with his funky gloves and his entourage of women. Now the two on the left look very unique. Let's say that. The first one there with the white looks like a wolf head on her head. Looks like Mick Jagger's mum or something. But yeah, I don't know why they're escorting Piers. Maybe he's run out of his meds and doesn't know where he is, and they're just saying, "Come on, Piers, yeah, yeah. Remember to say stand up, Hicks, yeah, yeah, yeah. Get your freedom back, Piers. Remember to say that, yeah." I don't know. It just looks really weird, this photo to me. I'm sure some of you know who these females are, but I've no idea. And yeah, very interesting. It's almost like something out of Macbeth, if you know what I mean. Um, And then yeah, we've seen that. We've seen the bald guy. We've seen that. We've seen that. Right, so now let's get into something a bit more positive, yeah, to leave you guys on a positive note, right? So, hospitals are no busier than normal, critics are being silenced, and there is more space in empty nightingales, right? So these are experts telling you that what they're saying about hospitals is not true, and that they're being silenced, and there is room in the empty Nightingale hospitals. Okay? Excuse all the fireworks if you can hear them. So it says here, the first lockdown meant that there were 27 million fewer GP appointments than normal during the shutdown, raising fears it's led to the worsening of other conditions such as asthma and diabetes. Tens of thousands less people than average went for cancer checks during that time, and there were hundreds more deaths from heart attacks. Nearly a million people have lost their jobs since March, and when the furlough scheme ends next year, it's expected to rise again. So while that sounds negative, the positive thing is the official narrative is crumbling, and you're getting people come forward and saying, no, look, enough is enough. We're experts in this field, and we're telling you it's wrong. Okay. And then you got this woman here who is quite brave, right? So, we've closed all of Cornwall down for 3 people in hospital. Healthcare assistant who publicly resigned, claiming she had no work for 3 weeks. No work for 3 weeks. So a healthcare assistant saying that she had no work for 3 weeks at peak of the pandemic says that the claim that the NHS is overrun is all lies. So another whistleblower, okay, which is brilliant. So yeah, so she's revealed what's going on behind the closed doors of NHS hospitals. She says she hasn't had no work for 3 weeks at the height of pandemic due to no patients. So everything that the media and the BBC have been telling you, they're now telling you is wrong by letting you know that this whistleblower has come up with this information. And then you got this here, another sort of positive, I believe. Britons could launch class action lawsuit for billions in compensation for government falsely imprisoning nation during lockdown. So now this law lecturer is saying that the government is falsely imprisoning us. It doesn't get more serious than that, does it? So what I would like to know is this class action lawsuit for billions, where would that money go? Would it go to the people concerned, the citizens of this country who have been falsely imprisoned? I'd hope so. Because, you know, we said this months ago. We said, I'm sure what they're doing to us, psychologically, we could sue them for damages, yeah? Because they're making children grow up in a scary, dark world. They're making you think that you're going to drop dead if you go outside, if you touch anyone, etc., etc. So this is very interesting. We'll see what happens, right? We will see what happens. Right. So I think that is about it. All I would like to say is please don't fall for false idols. All right? Don't fall for false idols who've got loads of money, brilliant house, then ask for donations, even though when they supposedly go to prison, they come out prison richer than when they went in. The truth movement has been hijacked by the far right. Okay, what they've done is they've tried to make out like they're truthers, but they're not. What they're doing is they're jumping on the bandwagon to get some more limelight, more fame, and also money. Because look, people are profiting from this misery. I'm telling you, all right. People you think that are doing a good job for you, they're not doing it for you. They're doing it to line their pockets, and their agenda is to make sure that we, as people, do not reach critical mass. Okay, so what will happen is they will go along to these events, and they will either film fake actors getting arrested or getting beaten up, or they themselves will get arrested. Okay, so it's very deep. It's very psychological. You have people who say that they're on your side, but they are not on your side, and all they're doing is profiting from the misery of what is going on. All right. And some of the comments that are being left is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, do you actually know what real life is? Do you know what hardship is? Yeah. Do you know about people actually getting beaten up and held on false charges? Do you actually know about that? Anyway, let's see what happens tomorrow. I believe there's a march in Manchester. I'm not sure what's happening in London tomorrow. I just want to give a shout out. All right, don't get misled by false idols, whether they be this guy here or people who basically represent him but pretend that they don't. Okay, yeah, it's all a big con. Yesterday was CONFIRE night 2020. All right, I said to you before it happened, I disagreed with what was happening. A march happening while it's dark already, so it's already dark and the protest hasn't started yet. Yeah, that's a red flag. They say 100 people got arrested. Bollocks, did they? Bollocks today. Some might got arrested for real. Most probably got fake arrested. And the reason these fake arrests happen is to intimidate others to either not go the next time, or just to put people in fear that, look, even journalists are getting arrested, or look, even protesters are getting arrested, or do you see what I mean? Okay? Don't believe everything you see. Don't believe everything you see, all right? Look at things in slow motion, rewind things, look at things without the volume on, research, look at people's behaviour, look at what they say, look at what makes them happy, look at the fact that they're supposedly in a tense and traumatic situation, but their concern is about other things, materialistic things, alright? I'm not going to get into any depth on that, alright? I think if you're intelligent enough, you know what I'm saying, alright? So, on a positive note, we've got whistleblowers coming forward telling us what we already knew, that the government are lying, that the hospitals aren't full, and this is all a massive overreaction. All right? So, let's see what happens tomorrow. For what it's worth, have a great Friday evening. I wish you all the best. Peace, love, and happiness to all. Liberty and justice. All right? So, unite the people to fight the evil. This has been Overkill, and we are now over and out.